Hi, this is Miss Sandra. Today I want to introduce you to Alexander Calder. He was an American sculptor best known for his mobiles. Mobiles are hanging sculptures that are balanced and connected so that they can move, sometimes with motors, often with the wind. Calder didn't invent this type of art, but he gave them their name and the style we see most often today. Besides sculpture, he also did painting and printmaking and designed tapestries and theater sets. This piece is called Untitled. Take a moment to look. Would you have given it a title? What would you call it? This mobile is made from sheet metal, metal rods, and cord. It's very simple to look at. The hard part of making mobiles is that the length and placement of the rods and cords have to be perfect so that the metal balances and can be moved by the wind. Can you see how the cord isn't tied in the middle of the rods? This is to balance the weight of the metal. The cord has to be closer to the side with the heavier piece so that the dangles balance evenly and don't pull down into a straight line. Look at the color yellow. Can you see how he balances the colors as well as the weight? Calder said that the universe inspired his use of shape, different bodies floating in space with different motions. This is a more complicated mobile he made from wood, wire, string, and paint. There are a lot more shapes hanging, but it's based on the same idea of balancing the weights and moving the string to keep things hanging evenly. Can you see how many of the pieces hang by different lengths of string? That's so the pieces don't bang into each other when they move. It's called Constellation Mobile. Do you think it looks like a collection of stars making a pattern like a constellation? This you might have seen before. If not, maybe you can visit it once things are open again. It's called Stegosaurus and it lives in Hartford, next to the Wadsworth Athenaeum. Stegosaurus is 50 feet tall and made from steel plates. Since Calder did so many sculptures that moved called mobiles, he called the ones that didn't move staybiles. This one's definitely a staybile. Something that big and heavy won't be moving anytime soon. Since it's 3D and so big you can walk around it and even under it, it's not a piece of art with a single view. There's as many ways to see the Stegosaurus as steps you can take around it. Now give balancing a mobile a try. This is kind of what it'll look like when we're assembling it. You'll need straws, or a straw, a pencil, thin cardboard, I'm going to use a cereal box, string, and scissors. If you have a hole punch, that's really useful. If not, you might need to grab an adult to help you cut holes in your shapes. If you've got it, paint is probably best for coloring this one. If you want to get really fancy, collaging on your cardboard pieces would take longer but look great. And something to put under where you're working is a good idea if you're using paint or lots of glue. First, you want to cut your straw. And cut it about a third of the way. So that way your long piece is about twice as long as your short piece. Next, cut 3 smallish shapes from thin cardboard. Mine are about 3 inches big. You can make any shapes you like. You can choose a theme or make them abstract like Calder did. That means they're just shapes, not meant to mean anything. Next is where you would decorate your shapes. You want to do that before you move on to the next step. Once they're decorated, you want to punch holes at the tops of your shapes. Next, we're on the tricky part, hanging them. Cut a long piece of string and thread it through the shorter straw. Thin string threads much better than thick string. Now, tie one end to the hole you punched in one of your pieces. going to see how long it is. If you like how it's hanging, I'm going to thread the other end through another one of your pieces and tie that one on. Remember, you don't want them hanging at the same height. Now you're going to cut another even longer piece of string. And tie one end of it around the center of your smaller straw that's already got the dangles on it. Now thread it through your longer straw . And then tie this end that you've still got around your last shape. Now you need to figure out about how long you want it. Cut off your extra. You can cut off extra string, but you can't add string if you cut it too short, so you always want to cut it too long. And you can cut another piece or use your extra piece to make a loop at one end. And then tie it around the middle of the longer straw. This is going to be how you'll hang the mobile. So now you have it assembled. Balancing is the last part. You can see how it's falling all the way. It's almost going straight that way. So remember, you want to move the string towards the heavier part. It's the part that's pulling down. And just move slowly. See, if you push it too far, it'll fall the other way. Once you get the hang of balancing, try adding extra straws for more pieces or dangling things you find around the house or outside. Experiment, have fun!